What? What the fuck? The end of a decade, 10 years gone like that. Gained and lost more than the first 10, no doubt. But it was worth it in the end, I think. Cause today we're reviewing Nights in the Nightmare. I covered episodes 1 and 2 of the Department Heaven franchise already, and we're finally doing episode 4. Oh, episode 3? No name or information has been revealed on episode 3. So Sting hopped from one handheld to another with their DS title, Nights in the Nightmare. Funny title! Again, I'm playing the PSP port, but man, I'm excited. Like, I'm really doing it, guys. I'm just burning through this franchise, even though it's so hard. Oh, God! Nights in the Nightmare almost killed me. Well, the first half anyway. It's a fun quirk of the Department Heaven series that their games are ordered not by chronology, but by level of uniqueness. And it's unique, alright. Yep. Just like Yggdra Union, Nights is about restoring a ravaged kingdom. Unlike Yggdra Union, everything is depressed. So here's the intro. Why live? I'll go in depth on this story later, but here's what you need. The two main characters are Maria here and this ball of light, the Wisp. Maria's hunting a real big something down, and the Wisp, aka the resurrected amnesiac soul of an important person, I guess, follows her on her cursed journey, killing every monster on the way by controlling the ghosts of dead knights. And there's a lot of dead knights too, because almost everyone in the kingdom is dead. Why? The game doesn't tell you till like halfway through. In fact, almost all of the story cutscenes are given out of order. Really f***ing stupid. I have a suspicion that the story's presented with maximum obfuscation to pair with the gameplay. Alright, Sting, I'm ready. What does level 4 uniqueness look like? An hour of tutorials. An hour of tutorials. Oh, it's cool. I remember when Super Mario took an hour to teach me to jump. If you can train a 50-year-old to beat this game and send me proof of them beating the final boss, I will shower you with gold. But most likely they'll just squint and look up, make the O face to tap the screen a lot. This is the most confusing game I've ever played, and even when you've sunk the time into it, you'll probably only grasp about 70% of the game. I'm not kidding. I feel like a kid who just opened a 1,000-piece jigsaw. Christ. First things first, this is a strategy game to some degree. You have access to 7 kinds of knights, or units, warriors, hermits, for real knights, archers, priestesses, wizards, and duelists. Each one can do unique things and has unique attacking properties. You're gonna need them all to win, believe me. The game takes place on an isometric grid. Okay, some monsters spawn that you have to kill. Makes sense. Games or missions take place over a series of rounds. Checks out. Oh, those must be the knights you control. So if I target the knight, I can charge it up and do an attack? Yeah! Crystals! Whoa, dude, these crystals are making the MP bar at the top go up. Cool. What do I do now? What do I fucking do now? Oh, you need to set items in up to 4 available slots, physically drag them onto your knights, and charge up power to attack. It drains the MP bar that you charge by normal attacking, and you need to use items because normal attacks don't do damage, basically. Every knight has a specific weapon type too. Oh, did I mention that some weapons have even more powerful charged attacks, but the weapon needs to be of the corresponding element to the knight using it? Video games! Now every turn you take is timed, so you only get so many charges per turn. Oh, that's fine. I'll just make sure I don't release my attacks until the enemies are standing in the blast zone. Whoa! Whoa, shit! Yeah, it's a bullet hell. Why not? Yeah, of all the genres you could staple to a strategy RPG, you picked bullet hell mechanics. To be fair, it makes the game engaging. It's fun to dodge some attacks because losing time sucks. Except, you know, when this happens. What the fuck is happening? There's a lot of enemy types and a lot to learn, so really what I'm saying is my brain deflated. Okay, but hey, you know, to actually win, you need to win bingo. No, I'm not f***ing kidding. The monsters you kill get a mark on this grid here, and every turn you play slots to get the monster spread you want if you think you can time it well enough. If you did a lot of damage but missed the kill, it's fine. That particular monster is saved on the slots until you kill it or win otherwise. Most monster killing stages are pretty forgiving with turn counts. So the developers were making models and textures one day and just left a bunch of shit on the floor of every stage. These objects can be broken by hitting them hard enough, and they'll yield weapons and characters character-related items when you do. Yeah, those knights you see there, not coming with unless you give them a reason to join. So an item they remember, like the first knight you get in the game, Johann. Oh my god, he's so f***ing sad, dude. To recruit him, you'll give him a worm scarf found in the same level. Oh my god! Hug him! Eventually, you'll break the objects, kill the monsters, recruit the knights, and win bingo. Not bad, not bad. Now I know what you're thinking. KBash, you're dumb. This game is so easy my grandma could play it. You're wrong! Well, not so fast, jackass, cause I ain't even started. The thing that holds this game back, okay, there's too many to count. I'm serious. It gets bad. Everything up until now is basic, easy to follow. Let's just get stupid. You might have noticed the background changing from blue to red. That's Law and Chaos mode. You swap between them with a button press. Knights have a different Law and Chaos attack. Warriors usually suck in Law, for example, because they get a big horizontal line attack, but the Chaos attack covers a lot more ground. You have to swap constantly, not only because different knights work better in one or the other, but because to actually receive crystals from attacking enemies to, you know, fuel your big damage hits, there needs to be fog present. Fog goes away naturally through repeated attacks, so you'll need to swap to the foggier realm to sustain your resources. So the game limits possible damage dealt behind player skill. Is the player paying attention, right? But let's talk about what we're actually killing here. Enemies come in all different elemental varieties, so you'll pick a weapon to kill that specific enemy, but whoops, they changed elements because their hit points get so massive near the end game, you'll need either incredibly strong knights or be abusing elements at every turn. Oh, how about that hit counter right there? That counts how many hits you've done, right? But some weapons you equip have a number attached to them, and when the hit counter matches the number, an effect will happen, like certain knights don't have to charge attacks or something, and some of them are cursed, so you'll want to avoid it. Like, thankfully this subsystem doesn't actually matter in normal mode. It happens sometimes. Whatever. So enemies do really annoying shit too. Wolves will literally charge down a knight that's charging an attack and stun them, which is particularly obnoxious when you're waiting to release a big attack but you need the enemy to line up with it, or you're just trying to dodge the constant barrage of stupid horseshit on the screen. And the giants, oh my god, these big dumb idiots smash objects on the screen. That's fun because objects hold recruitment items, and if you let them do what they want, it's possible you'll be denied those valuable recruitment items. Given you can stop their break attack by rotating your wisp around this box, I guess, and given you don't even need to recruit knights because normal mode is beatable using only temporary knights found in every stage, but you'll need to be pretty good to pull that off. And I don't know if you've seen my show. Actually, there's tons of items in this game. I mean, would it be a Sting game without having to drag around an absolute f***ing caravan of sharp metal trash? Of course not. Some of those key items are actually just for trading, and some only show up when you break an object and wait for it to respawn, then break it again. Ugh, why do I bother? Oftentimes, the initial knights in any given stage aren't ideal to complete the objectives of the map, so you'll need to change to a knight that moves, which, like, only 2 knight types can move, and swap them out for something relevant. Open the enormous item menu, painfully scroll through your disgustingly large horde, pinpoint the right item for your unit after considering what they'd be best with, what fits the enemies on the stage, what you actually have available to you, if it's a Law or a Chaos weapon, if your character's good with Law or Chaos, then equip it and use it, only to find out you only had limited uses. Oops, the item broke. Then either swap knights again after, or scroll through that goddamn menu. I'm so sick of this game. Ugh! Like, the actual gameplay is engaging and fun. It's probably one of the most fun video games I've played in my life. I know that sounds crazy, but it's the menus. The menus, the fucking menus. Why are there so many menus? Don't make games about menus. Here's some menus. You can power up weapons with crafting materials. Why not, right? But personally, I like to combine weapons of the same kind to reduce the total number of items I'm carrying, so I don't have to scroll through so much menu! But surely this is an RPG as much as a strategy bullet hell abomination. The knights you recruit are all dead people. Real quick, let's see how this one died. Okay, yikes. The knights all have backstories and inner character affinities and charts and bars and races. What the fuck? Okay, so your recruits are a little complex, you know, just a pinch. The bar here is the Law and Chaos Index, which shows how much damage they do in the Law and Chaos phases. So some have garbage damage, I guess. In fact, it seems most of the high damage knights are also the closest to death. Oh, sorry, did I mention? This game is permadeath, but knights, mostly, don't get damaged by monsters. Instead, knights kill themselves by attacking! You want a reaction from me? I don't care. You can pump experience into knights to level them up, which is one of the two consistent and reliable ways to heal them. The other is doing a big ol' soul vor on one of the knights you don't like or don't need. Welcome to the holy grail of knights in the nightmare fuckery. Transsoul. Transsoul fuels one knight with another soul, killing the sacrifice for health, potential Law or Chaos Index increases, and I don't know, menu cleaning purposes too. The game throws something like 60 knights at you, and you only need a small core of reliable units. This one dude, Mikkel, he sucks. He's a baby, and he's also a warrior. Apparently. His health was so low, I tried pumping like 8 guys into him over the course of the playthrough to make him consistent and viable. He was not. Apparently, the more you feed them, the more they progress on this vitality gain chart, but he never really made it somewhere where he was gaining decent vitality. Eventually, I transsouled him away because his Law and Chaos Index was so good for someone else. I mean, the system isn't even necessary, it's extremely complex, and you end up getting the strongest, healthiest knights near the end anyway. I don't know why I screwed around with this so much. I ended up using it to fuse high index, low vitality units onto healthier ones. Oh, well, at least everything's voiced, so that's fun.
It's time to wreak havoc. It worked!
Wait, run that again.
It's time to wreak havoc.
Havoc? Havoc? It's havoc. It's fucking havoc. It's havoc. Shit. Yggdra Union. This game has multiple story paths, apparently. We're playing the default one, but if you have Yggdra Union save data on your PSP, you can play as Yggdra, which changes some stuff, but it's not canon or relevant. I don't know. One returning element, however, is the Sting game traveling witch, Pamela. You know, that character. I even managed to get her in my team. And into another soul you go. Bye-bye! Maria's path is the one we're playing. Maria joins you occasionally. Her vitality is set at 7.7, so you know she's not the devil, I guess, and it resets with every map she appears. So she only gets to do a few charged attacks. She's also way higher level than your knights at any given time, and she can use pretty much any weapon. Interesting play by Sting to make the deuteragonist the most useless and useful character simultaneously. Now Maria and the Wisp are hounded at every turn. First it's monsters, then a werewolf, then a... Are you kidding me, dude? She looks like an infant. Oh, that's the judge of hell. Well, I'm the judge of ugly character design. Perish. But real talk, there's a boss fight at least every 3 stages, and even sometimes back-to-back boss fights. They're really tough overall, I'm serious. I think it's pretty obvious I needed a guide for this game, but I would've quit straight up on some of these without one. The bosses all have super cool, gigantic attacks and really make you work for the win sometimes. For all the dunking I'm doing on the complexity of the game, the bosses and the general gameplay when you're not dicking around in menus is fine-ass madness. Now for my favorite section, titled How Do You Dodge That? How do you dodge that? No, seriously, how do you dodge that? How do you dodge that? How do you Are you seeing this? How did you dodge that? How do you dodge it? How do you dodge that, though? No, how do you dodge that? How do you dodge that?
I can't figure it out. How do you dodge it?
No. How do you dodge that attack?
How do you dodge that attack?
Before discussing this story, I wanted to highlight the worst thing ever. So I'd estimate about 5% of players actually beat this game, and I bet less than 1% have seen the good ending. Why? To get the good ending, you need to do some things. Here's a short list. On Chapter 23, move a unit down to this space here and use a warrior to slam an invisible object at least, 20 times to break it. Wait for the invisible object to respawn invisibly, and then break it again. Oh, dude, I totally would have figured that out without a guide because... No, I fucking wouldn't! In the now unlocked Chapter 23.5, a series of chests appear, and a boss who happens to frequently break objects. Now, the Angelic Staff and Cardio will spawn inside one of those chests at random, and you'll have to break the right one. But hold on, you can't just break them willy-nilly. You've got to damage the chest within 90 to 99% of its health. Any less and it won't open, anymore, and it'll smash the staff inside. This is both easier and unimaginably harder than it sounds. I got it on my first try through sheer luck. No guide is telling you to do this, nothing in the game manual is telling you to do this, nothing in the tutorials, no in-game clues are hinting at this. You'd have to know the developer, know someone who knows, or data mine the game to figure it out. This is absurd and
Frankly, I don't think that's very cool of you.
okay, we're calm. Lastly, even though nobody mentions this either, this particular knight has to survive to the end of the game because she's the king's lover. Fair enough, most people probably won't use trans soul anyway. Still stupid, still unmentioned, still mad. It's hard to care about the story of knights. Firstly, because it's presented like a broken window on a platter, and second, because ultimately, good ending or not, nothing really matters. From the protagonist himself to the humble side characters, everyone in this game is a piece on a game board completely out of their control. In some ways, it feels amateurish. Every character goes through some tragedy to raise the stakes, but these events don't make the player care. They just kind of happen, oof, that sucks, and the story goes on. From what little info I could piece together, it seems that the kingdom, the focal point of the game, is considered scary to every other surrounding nation, if not outright oppressive. It's hard to know what's right, because the king, who is also the Wisp, Wilmgard, is presented only in sympathetic terms, unless a villain is talking about him. At the very least, we know Wilmgard's kingdom was unfair to the Tiamats, a race of dragon people, and other disparate indigenous peoples. We also know that Wilmgard is the arbitrator, which means he's the only dude who can kind of stand up to angels and demons and protects the human realm from either realm's incursions, but he doesn't know it. At some point, the cardinal, who, like, that is not a holy man, conspired against the king with a series of his subordinates and summoned the demon king Zolganark partially into the human world. Around the same time, a really tall tower was built. The gods thought it was a challenge to their power, and they sent an angel down. Simultaneously, this angel, for some reason, wanted to be fully pure, I guess, and Zolganark's like, hey, I'll split the evil from you. And she's like, yeah, I guess. And now there's twin fallen angels, literally the archangel from Riviera and Yggdra Union, running around as Maria and Melissa. Melissa is Zolganark's pawn, and you fight her constantly while looking for the good ending. I mean the Ancardia. So here's some of those needless tragedies that pepper the game. Sadness like salt, love it. The king totally gets iced by Melissa, throwing the kingdom into chaos, and the cardinal takes over. Sick. Oh, the king's son got turned into a werewolf. That's a shit. Oops, I killed him. Everything's going well for the totally not evil cardinal, except that he failed Zolganark, who turns his daughter, that loves the prince, yikes, sorry about that, into a mindless harpy you kill later. Uh-oh. Also, you killed the cardinal because, I mean, what else was gonna happen? The poor tribal people are mad at the king and take the magic woman's power to kill you, but instead they get exterminated one by one. In terms of Age of Empires, your civilization sucks! The dragon people want revenge on the king, but they're also standing between you and your unrotted corpse. So you just straight up kill the queen. The stupid magic lady's been ruining everything and being a shit. She turned the prince into a werewolf. She seduced old people with power. She tries to steal your corpse. Injects her soul into it to become the arbitrator. It turns out you have to be worthy, and her entire life of ambition, betrayal, and villainy is struck down by Zolganark in a second. Everything about the story, as unnecessarily obfuscated as it is designed to be wasteful. The game leaves some details out that would make certain motivations clear and reveal who you're supposed to hate. All characters' ambitions, hopes, and dreams shattered piece by piece, and only you, the arbitrator, are left at the end. It's extremely stark. Are you really just the conquering oppressor everyone seems to think you are? It looks like that, and the game wants to have all these twists that don't even make sense all the time. The cardinal was secretly one of the dragon people. The dragon people sent one of their operatives undercover into the kingdom to seduce the king, which she did, but actually she genuinely loves him too, and the game spends all this time on this mostly boring and unnecessary character. I don't know what the writers want from me, so all this amounts to a jumble of nonsense whose meaning, whose purpose is utterly indiscernible. And that's the point of the game. See, all this time during cutscenes and narrative vignettes, you've been hearing this peculiar rocking chair sound. And it's bizarre and unsettling, and then suddenly, like 30 hours in, you get this skeleton, Death himself, existentially commenting on the nature of humankind and its only confusing constant, which is, of course, to repeat the same mistakes ad nauseum, ad infinitum. The faces change, the places change, but the actions stay the same. And really, if that ain't just humanity at the core, it's almost poetic. if it weren't blindingly obvious. In the end, you'll pump as much as you can into your most promising knights, temper your strongest weapons, dodge the most dangerous attacks, figure out there's a guard button really late in the game, whoops, and put Zul'Gurnark down. I haven't mentioned it yet, but seriously, Riviera and Yggdra Union are such cutesy looking games. What happened here? I'm not against it, but dude, he's disgusting. What a horrible creature. Oh yeah, I'm the judge of ugly character design. Perish. The last fight's against your evil half, who apparently draped Zul'Gurnark's corpse over her shoulder. Fashion tip, that's a no-no. Whatever, I've come this far. How hard could it be?
Oh my god, tone it down! No, seriously, how do you dodge this? This is fucking impossible!
Just land. One attack. All I need is one attack. Please hit it. No problem. This game has a ton of endings, by the way. Though, I think regardless of what you get, good ending or not, the angel mentions the possibility that history will repeat itself. Again, that's the point of the game, but so much for closure, dude. So much for doing literally everything right to get the good ending, and lol JK, it'll happen again! I'm sorry if this review's been long and painful and confusing, but seriously, this game beat the hell out of me. I almost quit 3 times. I slogged through, and I only kept going because the gameplay was fun, and because I am Department Heaven's chosen one. The ending credits did something that very few games have. They gave me that dumbass grin, that wholehearted smile when something genuinely gets to you. It shows you one by one the top 10 units you used during your playthrough. Each one was an oh yeah, and of course, and man, I love that guy, and really, yeah, I guess I did use them a lot, huh? The game immortalized my actions and made me remember, even when I transsold some of them away. Well played, Sting. You won me over. And I guess that's it. The end of a decade, another 10 years, and gaming for 20. So many faces, places, experiences. And what have I learned from all that? Jack shit!